Welcome to another episode of Let's See Plans. I'm your host, KD. Today we have a special guest. She's an upcoming model and actress. Welcome, Sheena. No, Sheena, I say name?
It's Sheena.
Sheena, my bad, I'm tripping. My bad. But what I want to ask is, what inspired you to be a model and actress?
Well, modeling is not my entire focus right now, but I do like to express myself in all forms of art. And with modeling, I love to dance. So hitting those poses and kind of flowing with body movement helps me to express how exactly I want to present myself, depending on the theme. Mm-hmm. And I mean, that's what kind of got me started into it.
So you're more focused on being an actress? For
right now, yes. I'm signed to a talent agency. Shout out Lori Lenz, even though y'all don't book me as much, but it's okay.
Okay, so what made you want to pursue being an actress?
You know what? Ever since I was a kid, I literally just love to do like impersonations. And like I said, I love every form of art and different ways to express myself and express my emotions. And it was just something that I just did naturally, like in the comfort of my own home, like in the mirror, just kind of acting out a scene or just being goofy with my family. And it was something that just actually was just presented to me as I got older. Like it's not even anything I was intentionally seeking out to do. Yeah. Like, oh, when I grow up, I want to act or I want to do acting. It was more like, can you be a part of this play that I'm doing? Or I would love for you to be on my music video. It was like people just reaching out to me like, hey, like I like your personality, I like your energy. Can you be a part of this? And I'm like, sure. Like, I was ecstatic when I started to immerse myself in the creative space. A lot of people was just kind of like, you kind of have this like energy and this light. I like him. Can you be a part of this? And then that's how it just happened. I just kept meeting more people and being part of more projects. And then it was just like, boom, I'm acting. I don't even know how I got here.
So what was your first project you worked on?
My first project.
And how was that experience for you?
My first project was being on a music video.
Okay.
And it was a local rapper. And being in that, I was really nervous because I didn't know what to expect, and it was nothing too big or anything. Yeah. But I was just, kind of there, just doing the little background things, following directions, and it made me realize how much people don't know what goes on behind the camera, like setting up sound and camera and camera one rolling, camera two rolling, and action, those type of things I didn't really realize. So it was a good thing to just kind of slowly get myself into at first and kind of get a feel of it and see how everything operate. And then as I kept meeting more people, it just kept getting deeper and deeper projects. So I'm grateful that I did it. And the director even came to me. He was like, you were the only one that was actually following directions. After I went back and watched the clips, like I seen you and you were like really following directions. And I was like, oh, thanks.
But so the question is, like how did you overcome your nervousness doing your first music video?
Honestly, I feel like I've always been more like a quiet, shy kid and like in my own little bubble. But I've always done these things in the comfort of my home. So when I had to do it in front of people, I just act like nobody was there. It was like I was super nervous when it's about to start, but then when the camera's rolling, it's like boom, I don't see anybody else in the room. Like it was really like just focus on Sheena, just find something to look at and just think, what would I do if I was at home? And that's what helps me. I literally just see myself. Yeah.
So what was the first film you've been in?
The first film I've been in, the first film I've been in, which was my first lead role as well. Okay. It's called Diary of an Accomplice. It is not released yet, but we are in the works of releasing it. It's going to be in some film festivals and everything. Okay. So it was about a young lady named Vicky, a very professional, well-spoken woman who had very low self-esteem and did not love herself. Where she was in this marriage where she was getting abused by her husband, who was also an alcoholic, in the process of carrying her first child and experiencing her mom passing away.
Matt is in that movie?
Yeah.
Okay, I think he was telling me about that.
Matt was my husband beating my ass in that movie. Okay. He's beating the shit out of me. Okay. It's not funny, but yeah.
Okay. So what was the preparation for you to get into?
Oh my gosh.
To get into that role.
So naturally, I'm very light and bubbly and like expressive and really happy. So that role was really, really depressing and really sad. I had to channel like energy that, you know, like I maybe suppressed or like that I experienced in the past to really feel Vicky and feel how worthless she felt. And it was not good. I struggled for like a good 3 weeks. Like if I thought about a sad thought, I cried on sight because it was like I was channeling so much sad energy to be sad, to play that role really well. And it was really mentally draining. It was mentally draining. It was times I was reaching out to people like, you guys, like, this is hard. Like, I didn't know actors really go through this much because to really channel her, I didn't know when to turn her off. Like, okay, how would Sheena respond to this? But I was responding as Vicky. Like, something like little things, like a customer could be telling me something, and it could be like a sad thought that comes to my mind. Now, like, I instantly want to cry right then and there. Like,
cause you still stuck in that role at times.
Yeah. It was hard to kind of differentiate, like, and not be Vicky sometimes.
So what was the steps you had to take to snap out of that?
Well, because it was my first time, I really didn't know how, and I was just watching like some helpful videos on YouTube to help me kind of separate from that. And it was just like, okay, one, just know like I'm not my thoughts. Like I'm not what I'm thinking, or these energies that's passing through me. There might be parts that really resonate with me. So how can I release this in a healthy way? And yeah, like remember who I am. You know, okay, this is how Sheena responds to it. So after a while, I got used to it, and I knew like, okay, when I felt it, I never really acted on sight. I just kind of felt it and like acknowledged it and be like, okay, next, move on to the next. Like it was one of those things. So what really helped me was like studying myself and being aware of what I'm thinking and my thoughts, and also acknowledging that I am not my thoughts. Yeah. And that they are just like literally like clouds passing by, and I'm just like looking at them and like, okay, now you can move on.
So what was other films did you work on besides?
Well, that was my first like main film, and I also worked on a short film with Matt. It was called Girl in Traffic. And what's very interesting about that film is that I told Matt a personal story about me, and he decided.
Yeah, he did mention that to me. He made a book about you. Did you tell me that, or I think he told me that?
Maybe, I don't know, maybe both of us. I feel like I perhaps told you that. Okay. Yeah, and he decided to write a film. He was inspired to write a film about it, and which was really cool. It's about a young African-American girl who's having trouble in her dating life, and then she ends up meeting with this guy that she met through a woman at church, and he ended up being someone not to trust. He ended up having like this whole little sex trafficking thing going on in the background, and Sheena was the main character, and I did not get to play myself.
Oh, that's crazy.
I did not get to play myself.
So, like, was you upset with him about him doing that, or what was your first impression?
Well, I wasn't, because it was my first film that I was in, and I didn't have an experience, so I could understand where they were coming from as like doing this for real. You know what I'm saying? Right. So I didn't take it personal, and I take everything with grace. Like I would rather kind of watch the sidelines and kind of learn and be in that spot of like just being humble about it, rather than kind of like, oh, y'all, that I should play me and this and that and the other. As long as the person playing me is really good, I didn't mind. But
so how did you find out it was based on you? He put you to the side like, hey, I'm making a movie about what we had talked. Like, how did that work?
Yeah. Matt and I are really good friends, and one day he expressed to me like, hey, like I wrote this film and it's inspired by you, and that's all I knew at first. And then as I read the script, I said, you didn't tell me that character name was Sheena. Like, you didn't tell me these important details. Like, I need to know, you know? So I didn't find that out till later on, and that was pretty funny to just bring up. And he's like, oh, yeah. So, I ended up, like, just finding out through reading the script. And I'm like, okay, Matt, like, that's nice to know. So when I was there, it was like, oh, your name's Sheena? Well, that's the name of the... I'm like, yeah, I know. Yeah.
That's funny.
That was really funny. Yeah.
So, how can people find that film? Is that on Tubi?
It's not released yet.
It's not released
Matt
yet?
is still in the process of editing that film. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So when do people expect to have that film out?
I am not entirely sure. I have to check in with Matt. But what I do know, and I'm not sure if I should be saying this, is that we have to re-record that film, and I'm actually going to be playing myself now.
Oh.
So look how that worked. They said, "Oh, you're actually pretty good at acting." And I'm like, "Really? Because who can act me better than me?"
Right.
You know?
Okay. That's dope.
Yeah.
Inspired by a true story at the beginning.
Exactly. Yeah. Some of it. I didn't get kidnapped or anything.
Oh shit, you did miss about. Oh, my bad. I forgot about that. My bad.
She got kidnapped and went into this whole sex trafficking thing. Thank goodness.
Damn.
I pray for those who are experiencing that, though. Yeah, thank goodness I'm not in that.
So, what I wanted to ask is, what have been some of the biggest challenges you faced as an up and coming actress, and how have you overcome them?
Some of the biggest challenges I faced, being myself.
Okay.
Being myself, that's an everyday practice. How would Sheena do things? How would Sheena talk? How would Sheena say this role? You know, I was so focused on what everybody else might think or see about me, but what really, really helped me was like, how would I do it if nobody else was around, or if I didn't have like, if I was not thinking how they thought about me, you know, like, oh, they might perceive this as being cocky or something, but instead of focusing on that, I'm like, okay, I know I'm not cocky, right. So let me do this in a way where I know I'm confident in it and it makes me feel good. So right. Some of the challenges I had, was really just going full force instead of like holding back. Because then when I watch some of the film, I'm like, ugh, it's so cringy, because I know I'm holding back, and it's just it makes me cringe. I'm like, ew, can we do that over? Yeah. You know, so making sure I'm not really holding back, making sure that I really just kind of put out all my expression into it, being myself in that, because I'm very naturally goofy, so I like to kind of play around sometimes. Another challenge I had was preparation, because my time management, you know, we working on it. Me and time is building a relationship right now.
Yeah, I feel on that one.
Yeah, I've created time, so sometimes I would do things a little last minute or something like that, which will cause more anxiety, but making sure that I create time for myself.
So you think it's like procrastination sometimes, or you think you just...
No.
That's my problem. That's why.
Yeah, sometimes, depending on what it is, but really I put too much on my plate, and then I think I can do everything in a certain time, and then I need more time than I planned for. Yeah. And it was just one of those things where it's like, okay, like, it's just like, I have this time scale, but then I put like 10 things in that time scale, and then and I'm like, oh, but I only have 15 minutes to do this. Like, it didn't work out, so.
I see. So, a couple last questions, and we're going to switch topics. Who is your who's your favorite actress?
It's so interesting when people ask me this question, because at first I was like, what? I don't, go figure, I'm an actress and don't have a favorite actress. I don't have anybody that really inspired me to act. Oh, yeah. Well, at the time I thought about it, I was like, I don't know. It's like, like I said, I like just jumped into this field. It was not something that was like, oh, this is my dream, like I really want to do. It was like I just jumped into it. But I thought about it for a while, and my favorite actor is Jim Carrey. I love me some Jim Carrey.
Oh,
I love Jim Carrey.
Yeah, very
he
underrated.
He zones out like completely. He's really goofy. He makes me laugh. He gets real weird with it.
That's an interesting answer.
And I like how he thinks offset. Like some of the interviews I watch about Jim Carrey and his perception on life, and him being Jim Carrey is like, I really admire that about him. So yeah, I would say Jim Carrey.
That's what's up. So it's my last question as far as with the acting. Certain roles that I hear actors will say that they will never play. Like some actors be like, I will never put on a dress, or I will never do this and this and that. So what I want to ask is, what are certain roles that you're not willing to do? Are you just open to everything?
I wouldn't do sexual roles. I wouldn't do like nude scenes. I wouldn't be comfortable with like being openly sexual in front of a lot of people that I don't know. That's the only thing I can really think of at this moment. Maybe like nude scenes or... I mean, shit. I mean, they do pay good. Look, you get paid for it and everything, and everybody's perception is different. Right. As a woman and as a mother, I just cannot wrap around the thought of maybe my daughter might be seeing her mother butt naked on the screen one day. Yeah, I feel you. Okay. Yeah. Everybody's perception is different. Some people have kids that does do it, and it depends what the message is. You know what I'm saying? Like, makes sense. Yeah, if it's just like a little sexual movie or something, and now they're, we want you to be naked and this and me, that's different. I don't know, but it depends. But no, I don't think I would be comfortable right now, at least in my life, getting naked on camera. Definitely understand. So, due to
you being a up and coming actress and having a busy schedule, how do you maintain like balance eating a healthy lifestyle, like working out, stuff like that?
Well, yeah, that's something I'm learning right now in this moment. So these things that I really want to do to make sure that I'm at my highest self and that I'm extremely energetic and that I'm operating in a way where I'm not drained. It's my lifestyle. When I wake up, I want to eat fruit. Like it's natural for me. And I do it in the present moment, So I wake up, I want to eat fruit. Okay, then I may have work, and at work I may eat a meal. I'm really kind of once a day type of person on purpose. I believe the less you eat, the longer you live, and there's many things upon that. So I'll maybe have work, and then I get off of work, and then I have a meeting with someone about an event, and go get tea or something like that.
Yeah.
I really try to stay mostly in the present moment and when I do things. So when I do want to work out, if I'm able to go to the gym after the meeting, I'll go to the gym. But if I'm not, I don't have time, I'll work out at home. Yeah. I'll turn on a home workout. I'm like, okay, I can do this. And I really just try to do everything right then and there, because if I don't, I won't do it.
Yeah.
So.
I feel you on that one.
Yeah.
So like, due to your, I'm actually the same question in a different way.
No worries.
So like, how do you find the time to like give yourself that self-love and like take care of your own mental state?
So honestly, everything looks like self-love to me. Like talking on this podcast looks like self-love to me, because I'm able to kind of express myself and have other people view it and find different things out about themselves. Just the littlest things that we do every day, where I was like, okay, let me make this more intentional and let me make this more about me. Like getting in the shower, instead of like maybe just like, oh, I'm just getting a shower. I feel like I'm like really rinsing all my worries away. I'm cleansing myself. I take time oiling myself up, like things like that. When I eat, I want to be more focused and more present on what I'm eating, and kind of like really like be grateful that I have food, or like that I'm here, or that I'm eating something that I know is good for my body. That looks like self-love to me. But like literal self-love, like having self-care, I would say I have a day that I make sure that I do it, which is Sunday. And I think Sunday, I feel like everybody will probably agree, like Sunday is a great day to self-care.
No, I agree.
And take care of yourself. So I have like little practices that I do that I know that really helps me feel better, or helps me feel more loved by myself. Like dancing, I really love to dance, move my body, flow, light an incense, make myself a sexy smoothie bowl, because I love me smoothie bowls. Like do it in a way where it's more intentional and a little more fancy for myself. It could be the simplest things, but I have more intention on it. Meditate. I really love to meditate, connect with God. So if I do not connect with the source, I feel like I shouldn't be outside the house.
No, I feel you on
or
that
doing
part.
Anything. I would really be hard on myself. Like, dang, I didn't meditate today.
So you had mentioned about eating, like, like what is your diet? Because I think we had talk. I think you said you tried to be a vegan one time or something like that.
I did, yes. So right now, I would say I'm an aspiring vegan, I guess, more plant-based role. I would say I'm leaning in like vegetarian, because I love ice cream.
I love ice cream. I understand.
I love ice cream. I've found some good ice cream alternatives, I'm not gonna lie, but that's where the challenge is right now.
Okay.
But I would say, like I said, maybe like fruits or something light in the morning, like fruits, grains, or nuts or something like that. And then I eat one full meal, like course meal, like really, I really get down with that. And then if I'm hungry towards nighttime, I try to eat like a lighter snack, or like a smoothie or something, because I really love to make smoothies and things like that. So I would say more vegetarian, and it's growing. And my daughter, she's adjusting to it, because she's not used to that lifestyle.
I bet.
Yeah.
Because I know you said you was doing the vegan thing. I wouldn't recommend people to go vegan, because when I switched being a vegan, I didn't know this, but I've been plant-based for like 4 years, and I became anemic. The certain stuff I wasn't getting into my body, like iron and omega and all that different stuff. So I tell anyone, like, I say do that alkaline. I don't know if you're familiar with the alkaline
I've heard
diet.
of the term for sure. Yes.
Yeah. So to give you the difference of an alkaline and vegan food, alkaline is more like from the earth, like you heard of chickpeas and
Yeah,
stuff like that.
yeah.
So when people make a burger, they probably use like chickpeas and mushrooms, or they use walnuts and mushrooms. That's their meat substitutes. Compared with vegan, you hear like Beyond Meat and Impossible.
Yeah.
That's not really good. That's still processed food.
Yeah.
So yeah, I wouldn't recommend. So
I
that's
agree.
I'm slowly transitioning to that type of diet.
Oh, good for
I
you.
feel different when I was eating on chickpeas for a couple of days. I'm like, damn.
Yeah.
So yeah, and TikTok been helping me a lot to make
Yeah.
these ingredients.
Shout out TikTok.
No, for real, no. TikTok's a game changer. So I definitely want to throw that out there. You ever thought about like try to make some alkaline food? I think you'll like it.
Well, thank you for expressing that. Actually, that is my version of vegan.
Yeah.
I first, when I started off, I'm not gonna lie, I was definitely doing Impossible Meat and stuff like that. It was easy for me and it tastes good. And I was like, ooh. And then I started looking at the ingredients on there for real, and I'm like, damn, this is just as bad. Might as well eat regular meat. You know?
No, for real.
It's like just because it's vegan doesn't mean it's healthy or good for you, and it doesn't mean you're healthy, because I can be eating all these processed, chemicalized foods that really are still not really fueling my body the way it should. So I agree with you on more like earthy foods. And I used to work at a vegan restaurant. It's called Urban Beats.
Okay.
And they're the ones who really introduced me like making foods from scratch. And one of my favorite burgers from there was a beet burger. Actually, it was made out of beets and black beans. That burger was so good. But I got some recipes from there that really helped me, and then now I just kind of like freestyle and like try to get real creative with it. So it gets really fun.
No, for sure. Yeah, no, for sure. No, eating healthy is really fun, and
it tastes good.
Yeah, like, then too, you know, I turned that to one of my hobbies. I would never thought like juicing and all that type of stuff would turn to one of my hobbies. I enjoy doing that.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
Same. I also juice with my daughter, like, because I'm slowly incorporating her in this lifestyle, because me and her father, we don't have the same diet. At first I took it mad personal, you know, like, no, our baby needs to be healthy and this and that, because we're not together. So it was like, I didn't know how to healthily project, like, that I care about her health, and like, although this is your lifestyle and this is what they believe, this is what I believe. And I was really feeling attacked as a mother. Like, I didn't feel like, dang, like, I'm helping this, and I found out this information. I'm not really able to help my baby like that. But then I started to get in the mindset of, okay, Shiloh's going to gravitate whatever her mommy does anyway. And then she has a healthy balance. I mean, she goes here, she may eat this and that and the other. Then she comes with mommy, and I'm like, yeah, now we're going to detox your body. Yeah. We're going to cleanse you, because as a mother and as a woman, I feel it's our duty to heal. Yep. Like, what we feed our children and what we feed our family, we're either going to heal them or kill them, right? So in that process, I'm like, I want to heal my daughter. I want to make sure she's good. So I know this might be going on with her, but as she get older, I know I'm going to have more control over her diet. Yeah. And daughters really gravitate with their mommy. She want to do what mommy does. Yeah. Mommy, I want to juice. Mommy, I want to eat what you're eating. Mommy, I want to wear lipstick. Like, she's always want to do what mommy does. So I know when she gets older, she's going to gravitate over here.
Oh yeah, for sure. So I want to ask.
Yeah.
What are some of the biggest challenges you face when trying to feed your daughter healthy foods? Like, does she like it? Does she? Yeah, that is a challenge, because she loves freaking Happy Meals and McDonald's that her granny give her all the time. Trying to compete with that, with like, here, Shiloh, eat this strawberry, these blueberries, and this mango smoothie. You know, it's good. It's good for you. She's like, nah, I want a burger, and I'm like, ugh. You know, I would say that's more challenging, just trying to convince her how good fruits are for you. So I act happy when I eat it, like, oh my God, it's so good. Or when she's around people that does that same thing, then she's like, I want to try it. Like, now she's like, all right. And then, so at first it was really hard, because I was living that life too at first. So she's like, now mommy want to switch up, you know, after this. And it was a hardcore switch. It wasn't just, you know, like, even with food, it was stuff I was using on my skin and everything. So a lot of things was changing in that moment. Slowly but surely, I stayed consistent with her. Every time she come to mommy house, I noticed she even like changes when she comes to my home. Like, with her granny and them, she might be like, Granny, can I get a soda? Can I get some juice? Can I get something like that? And I'd be like, dang, she never asked me that at my house. She always say, can I get water, mommy? Can I get a smoothie? But her granny and them, like, she never asks us for water. So it makes me realize how important atmosphere is and who you're around. Because she know at mommy house, oh, you're not drinking soda, or you're not eating no candy. Yeah. But so she asks for the stuff that she likes when she's with me. So I'm starting to figure out what she does like to eat and what that looks like for her. So how old is your daughter?
She's 3.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she's 3. She's starting young.
Okay, yeah, definitely gotta start them young for sure.
Yeah.
Damn. Oh, so this is my last question.
Yeah.
My last couple questions with this topic. What's your advice for a parent who's struggling to feed their kid healthy foods?
I would say, one, try to incorporate it through music of like, try to have them listen to music that they are, like they're eating healthy. Like that one song that's really popping on TikTok. Let's do the veggie dance. Hey, veggie dance.
I ain't never heard that one.
You ever heard it? Oh my
No,
gosh.
I never heard that one.
Listen, this making all the kids want to eat veggies because they like,
I'm gonna check
you
that
know,
out.
yum, yum, eat it up. And they go, I got my broccoli. Hey. So it's like a
Okay.
really geek song. And then she's talking about eating veggies and they like, you know, they getting geeked about it. Like, okay, I want to see what broccoli is. I want to. So with Shiloh, I incorporate music with learning. She loves the apple and banana song. So she's like, Mom, I want to eat an apple. I want to eat a banana. You know, that helps. Being patient with yourself. Like, don't be hard on yourself because your child don't, you know, especially if you're transitioning because your child don't want to eat healthy. Just be patient with yourself and try to like really pray for patience with them, because it's a lot for them to transition to, and they don't really understand what's going on, you know, what they're experiencing or why they should eat this way is going to be good for them. So I tell her too, I teach her and say, Shiloh, this is good for you. This is going to help heal your body. Don't you love running around? Don't you love being strong and jumping and being happy? This is going to help that. This is going to heal you. Then she's like, oh yeah, okay, mommy. So then she'll see like, she'll feel it too. Like, see, don't you taste the juice? And does it feel electrifying, Shiloh? You like it, huh? So I try to, convince her that it's really good for you and it's going to help heal you. And there's no shots to people that doesn't, you know, really eat a healthy lifestyle. But Shiloh also be like, I'll tell her too, like, hey, McDonald's not good for you. And she'll be like, but it's yummy. I said, yeah, it tastes good, but it's not good for your body.
Right.
You know, McDonald's can hurt this and that and the other. Well, Granny says it's good for me. And I'm like, oh, well, Granny doesn't know that yet. Granny doesn't know that it's not that good for you. She knows that. She knows that because that's what Granny likes to eat. You know, that's what they like to do. But I try to tell her, like, hey, it's not good for your body. You know, we want Shiloh to be strong. We want Shiloh to live healthier, you know.
And I definitely applaud you for taking that approach because, for one, sometimes parents tell kids to do something and they're not understanding why. So they feel some type of way, they get mad. But by you explaining to her, like, hey, it's healthy for you, it's going to make you feel better. And two, I applaud you because I ain't trying to fat shame no one, but, like, I see kids that's overweight.
Oh, yeah.
And I just be like, I just be just disappointed. I'm not upset at the kid. I'm more upset at the parent.
Yeah.
Because they not really keeping the kid active or, you know, feeding them healthy foods and stuff like
Yeah.
that. Like, I seen the one kid at Pick and Save. I think about like 4 or 5. I don't know. But,
oh, my gosh.
But shit, the motherfucker was obese.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's just like,
Yeah.
nah, that shit made me mad seeing that shit.
Yeah, I
Like,
can
hell
entirely
nah.
agree with you, especially taking her out to parks and stuff like that. And I really see it more in the Black communities. It really hurts my feelings because I'm like, wow, I'll see her playing with kids and, you know, they would be the same age. They can't keep up.
Yeah.
They'd be tired. I would watch kids like out of breath, like, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like, you know, and then it's just the ignorance to the parents too, and not ignorance in like, a childish way, but lack of knowledge of like what they're feeding their bodies. And I don't really believe in like diseases carrying families. I believe the way they eat carries, so they have the same diseases.
Yep, I definitely agree with that.
You know, so yeah. Thank you. I appreciate it. It's something I've learned, and I just. This is something that I want for myself, but I it's going to carry through her. Like when I leave, Shiloh's going to know, even when she gets older, that my mom taught me this. And I'm like, I'm grateful that she taught me this at a young age, even if she didn't grasp onto it or that's not her lifestyle when she got older. Right. Eventually she'll find out like, whoa, like this is where it's to be. This is how I can be healthy mentally, physically, and this is how I can help others and be in my highest state, you know, my highest self.
Definitely.
Yeah,
definitely. You know, so to switch topics, you mentioned earlier about dating, right? So, do you see yourself getting married?
You know, my perception of marriage, right? You know, it's basically knowing the government, you together on a piece of paper, it's whatever. Now we got to share taxes and last names and stuff like that. It's whatever. I would say I would like to be married, but not it does. I mean, we can be married on paper. That's fine. I feel like spiritual connection is most important because people are married and they don't have a spiritual connection. They want to be together, or you have arranged marriages. So is marriage really the idea of love that you may think it is? I feel like it's really important to have someone that you feel safe around emotionally, physically, mentally, that you can grow with, because you're always changing, like, all the time. So that you can choose to keep loving in the changes and build like more of an empire with and health and children. So yeah, I do see myself being in like a marital relationship. Yeah. Somebody that I want to commit to monogamously. Let me say monogamous. Because a lot of that going on. Yeah. And in my perception of poly is not bad in the old historic form, but yeah, I would prefer a monogamous relationship, marriage.
Definitely. So I want to ask you this. So what aspects of a relationship do you think should be equally divided? Like, do you believe 50-50, or you believe a man's supposed to take care of everything?
What a touchy subject. I think I'm still figuring that out for myself. Okay. Now, I would be open to doing 50-50. I personally don't have an issue with it. And I also would love for a man to provide. Okay. Hopefully, if he can, and if he cannot, I would not have no problem splitting the bill. You feel what I'm saying? I think it's important to understand the natural balance of feminine and masculine energy, so you two can actually incorporate what you need to do in the marriage. Like, naturally, men are more assertive, they are more protective, they are more the leaders, they're more logical thinking, so decision making based on those type of ends. If I can trust a man in doing that and also provide, I wouldn't have no problem with being more flowy, very nurturing, loving unconditionally. I wouldn't have no problem being what they call a housewife, or those type of things. Overly submissive. I know it's a lot of terms in that.
I was thinking when you had said it, like feminine energy or something like that. The woman like allow me to be my feminine, not my survivor mode. I don't know.
Well, not in a natural way. Feminine energy is more submissive. It's more surrendering. It's more easy flowing. It's more I got you. I'm gonna take care of you. That's our natural balance of femininity. And like I said, with men, they are more the leaders. They are more to protect and guide and lead. And as long as the base of that, we're operating healthily in our divine masculine and divine feminine. Right. I don't know the actual details of how the relationship will go financially and stuff like that. But as long as the base is like that, and we both have the same spiritual beliefs and principles within a connection with God, then however you want to work that out in your relationship, however that looks like for you or for me, that's how I would prefer it to be. As long as we're operating healthily in our own energies and bringing that together, understanding, we're not the same. Right. And some worldly things would be like, this is what women do, this is what men do. I'm not really focused on that. I'm really focused on the energy of me being a woman. Okay, I'm more, I got this, babe. I'll take care of you. I'll clean up or something like that. And the man is more like, like I said, he's more like.
So why do you think some women have a problem with that? Like, I need a man to pay all the bills, or I need a man to do this. From your perspective, I'm asking from your perspective.
Because that's what they see. That's what they see, maybe sometimes on social media, or some of the things that they have people around them, or lifestyles that they have witnessed. They think maybe that's what it is. And I just made a post on my Facebook not too long ago, and it got some mad heat. I said, let's talk about toxic femininity.
I was gonna bring that up. Go ahead, keep talking, Doug. I wanted to ask you about that. Keep talking.
Because and this is a term, right? This is not. This is a term. This is a general term that caught people attention. I was hearing everybody talk about toxic masculinity and what men do, and men, this is wrong, that is wrong, this and this and that and other. And I was like, okay, let's acknowledge that this exists on the women's side too. Yeah. I have friends, I know of men that are in relationships where they are operating in their masculine energy in a healthy way, but then they get triggered, and then they're getting like really mad and angry in it because the woman is not operating her natural femininity. She doesn't know how to communicate. Women, when we're not in a healthy state, we can easily manipulate. we can use our femininity to make you feel bad, victimize ourselves. You know, so like when women do that, they think, oh, they can. Well, not all women, and this is general. This is my perception.
Yeah.
When women do that, they think that, oh, it's because I'm a woman, or it's because you are wrong, oh, because we're naturally more emotional, right?
Yeah.
But it's like, actually, no. You really didn't communicate that to the man, because we have two totally different mindsets. So sometimes we might be like, I wish that toilet was fixed, but we won't say it to you. But then you come over there and you walk past the toilet, you still ain't fixed that toilet,
right?
And it's like that's an example of toxic femininity, because just because you're a woman doesn't mean you can't be toxic either. Like, oh, but did you communicate like, hey, babe, honestly, that toilet's been on my nerve. Like, is there so? Do you mind fixing it for me? Or like it's kind of been mind blocking me. It's kind of getting on my nerve. Like, instead of like healthily expressing it that way, women will kind of think you need to read our minds, or we might get a little mind game or manipulative about it. And that's just an expression and a version of femininity. I'm not saying femininity is toxic. I'm saying there is a version of femininity that is toxic.
So it's interesting that you hearing this from a woman. And this is for me to ask. What made you realize about some women negative ways?
I have female friends that were really toxic, extremely toxic, that victimize themselves a lot, that blame people a lot, that operated off of their emotions because they went through a lot of things, and then they feel like they needed to play the blame game or take it out on people because they were going through something that they didn't know how to healthily express. I dealt with that a lot with women that I was just friends with, and especially now, I try to operate in my most like truthful self and be honest. And sometimes I would come to women like, hey, what you said there, that didn't make me feel good. Like, I just want to express this to you. I didn't like when you did this and that and the other. What did you mean by that? Or, what was your intention? Right. And they'll probably be like, oh, you think you my mom or something like this and that. It was just like, I experienced it. I experienced toxic femininity, and I know men that are experiencing it, and I'm like, okay, I always hear you say, oh, men do this, men do that. If women do too. Yeah. Sometimes be a little more smarter with it, Yeah. And we can play the mind games, and narcissistic energy can be in women too. Man. And when I've always thought about this, but bringing it up and making a status, I was kind of hesitant because I'm like, I don't know what is going to come from it, because I don't really get comments on my posts, but that one got the heat.
So what was the backlash you received? What were people saying?
Well, it was like, maybe some people was like, oh, I don't think that's femininity. I think femininity operates in something else that, it wasn't kind of making sense to them. And I had to explain to them, like, no, what I mean is this is a version of femininity. Like, that's a natural balance of the cosmos. There's a yin and yang to everything. There's a good and bad to everything, is what I believe. So, yes, in a natural state, femininity is good. And what about the bad part of femininity? Let's talk about it, women. And I see it even in podcasts I watch, or in some shows that I've watched, and the women kind of are attacking the men, especially having conversations about relationships or men's views on relationships or what men go through. And I'm like, we have to acknowledge too that men suffer too.
Nah, for real.
Men suffer in relationships too, and I don't feel like there's enough safe spaces where men can openly express this with women and it be acknowledged. There are some spaces like that, but I really wanted to press the issue, like, okay, y'all, let's talk about it. Yeah. Let's discuss this, because the men be going through it too, and I'm here for both energies. I'm here for both energies.
And I think because this is my opinion. But I think women act that way because sometimes it's just their upbringing. Sometimes some women, not men too, they never grew up in a two-parent home. So, for a woman, they watch how the mama act, or they watch how the mama bash they dad, so they think it's normal. So, and I feel like if a woman doesn't see how a woman's supposed to treat a man, I feel like she would have a hard time in a sense. I feel like, I think she'll have a hard time. Not saying they're not capable of, I'm not saying that, but my opinion, I feel like, they would have a hard time. Just like a man. If a man don't see how a woman is treated, they're gonna have a hard time to, expressing himself, expressing himself. and learn how to go about things as a man.
Yeah, I entirely agree. Growing up, I had a pretty unhealthy view of a male and female relationship, and I would say that because there were not really many men in my family. All the men that were in my family like either passed away or they just wasn't there. Right. And the women in my family were taught to just basically submit to a man no matter how he treats you. Or like him being a man and him existing was enough. As long as there's a man around, doesn't care if he's cheating on you, doesn't care if he's not providing for you, he's not operating his masculine, he's not fixing stuff around the house. It doesn't care as long as he's there existing. So that definitely affected my dating relationship because I put all my energy into men, and that's all I knew what to focus on was, let's make sure the man get his play first. Oh, not the kids, the man get his play first. Like stuff like that. So I had to unlearn all that stuff and then realize there should be a natural balance, right, to it. And some people do project what they grew up in because that's all they know. Yeah. But if we didn't take the time to really study ourselves and study the energies, the healthy balance of the energies, then that's what we're just going to be operating in. And with the toxic femininity, it's not to say some people is doing it knowingly and some people are doing it unknowingly. Unknown, yeah. Some people don't know that they're being toxic.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. That is true. That is true. No, that's definitely true. And sometimes when they realize, sometimes it may be too late. So yeah, no, for sure. So this is my last question I want to ask. What qualities do you value most in a potential partner?
What qualities that I value most? Relationship with God, 100%. Gotta have a relationship with the Most High. Your own relationship before we combine lives, because I feel like there's not going to be a good relationship if you don't have that base where God in the center. Like, regardless, care about your body, your health, respect people overall, respect women and men, respect people. I would say those are the main three: respect people, care about your health, your body, and that's in many ways, and have an intimate relationship with God yourself. And I mean, if you have those three base qualities, then that's what will be most important to me. And I can feel safe around you, emotionally and spiritually, physically, everything. I can feel safe.
Yeah, that's dope. Yeah, that's dope. That's dope. Yeah. Well, that's all the questions I have. I appreciate you coming. And whenever that film comes out, I'll definitely bring you back on to talk more about it. I'm looking forward to watch it, so we can come on here and talk about it.
Yeah, I'm excited. Yeah. Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it. I appreciate the authentic conversation and expression. This was really cool, y'all.
Hell yeah. Really cool. I give all thanks to Kayla.
Yeah. And thank you, Kayla. Yeah.